And in the studio with us, Nina Turner, the president of Our Revolution, former Ohio State Senator, Bernie 2016 surrogate. OurRevolution.com is the website. Nina Turner, at Nina Turner, is the Twitter handle. And yes. Senator, welcome back.
Thank you, Thomas. Always good to be
So nice having you with us. And let me just say, you're here with us for the half hour. And if anybody has any call, if you have questions for Senator Turner or President Turner, I guess, president of Our Revolution now.
Titles are good. Purpose is better. But
there you go. Yes.
I got a lot of those little titles we can choose from.
Yeah, feel free to give us a shout, and Nina Turner will take your calls. So first of all, how's Our Revolution doing?
State of Our Revolution is strong.
Good.
Oh my God. Good. So excited, as you know, and I want your listeners to know that, several of our candidates won last night. In particular, Tim Keller won his runoff in Albuquerque, New Mexico for the mayor's seat. But our candidate, Randall Woodfin in Birmingham, Alabama, won, and he is now mayor-elect in the South.
Now, if these had been Tea Party victories, they'd be all over the media.
Oh yeah, of course.
Are you getting any coverage on this?
Somewhat, but not nearly enough. In all of the darkness that is going on right now in our country, in terms of the heaviness from the natural disasters and the disaster that is President Trump, we can pause, I think, to celebrate some victories, and having a progressive like Randall Woodfin win in Birmingham, running a strong, progressive, people-driven campaign is really a big deal, not just for Birmingham, but for this country.
Well, I think that was the main thing that we learned out of the election of 2016, whether it was the insurgency of Bernie's candidacy or the rapid move to progressive values that the Clinton campaign embraced, was that the American people are sick and tired of Reaganism and Reaganism from the Republicans and Reaganism light from the Democrats.
Amen. And, I just talked to the mayor-elect, and he won across all demographics: young, seasoned, homeowners, non-homeowners, black, white, just across the spectrum in Birmingham. If that does not reinvigorate and remind us that running on a progressive agenda with the pure intent to execute that agenda can get people excited in Birmingham, Alabama.
We're talking with Nina Turner, former state senator Nina Turner, president of Our Revolution. And if you have any questions or thoughts for Nina, give us a shout. So what are the biggest issues we've been talking about? People would like an issues-focused campaign, and all the media ever gives us is sports or drama, right? It's who's up, who's down in sports, or who's angry and who's not. Did Rex Tillerson say something that's going to anger the president? Oh, he's got to hold a press conference to say, no, I didn't. But what does that have to do with anything? So what are the issues that Our Revolution is promoting that are causing these kinds of victories?
Well, certainly Medicare for all, as you know, is the top issue, in the country. It's on the minds of millions of people. Income and wealth and inequality still remains an issue. And as of late, given the tragedy that happened in Las Vegas, we go in and out as a society in terms of how and if we're really going to deal with proliferation of military-grade weapons that should not be on our streets. But if Sandy Hook didn't move us, Tom, we're going through the motions here. Yeah. And very little will be done. And as my colleague, Representative Lucy Flores, who is an assemblywoman in Nevada, reminded me that even right now, the citizens of Nevada passed they passed a policy measure that strengthened background checks, but they have an attorney general right now, Republican attorney general.
Put it on hold.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's incredible. So by the citizens, by ballot referendum,
that's right,
rose up and said, we want to have a vote on this.
Yes.
This is what we want. They voted it. They voted on basically a gun control measure.
That's right.
And the Republican Attorney General says, I'm not going to enforce this law.
Not at all. We're in trouble as a country. We've been in trouble for quite some time. And as we know, also in the Congress, they're debating legislation that will make it easier, in other words, across state lines, that they can recognize concealed carry, which will weaken, gun laws in this country, and also the whole silencer thing. I mean, who in the hell needs a silencer to hunt?
Right. Well, in fact, nobody even wants a silencer to hunt, to the best of my knowledge. I mean, I grew up in Michigan and had friends who were hunters, and frankly, never went hunting myself. But I've heard all the stories. My cousins were, fanatics about it. Deer hunting season was like a celebration. And you put a silencer on a rifle, you destroy its accuracy. So, the main thing that you use silencers for is killing people up close quietly.
Right. Hello.
So,
yeah.
Why is this something that, requires legislative approval?
And to put the Second Amendment above life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for all people, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And so why we have some Republicans, and I won't say all, but I'm hoping that we do need thoughts and prayers. Las Vegas is another reminder, but we also need people who are going to push policy, common sense policy.
Amen. So we've got a few people who want to talk to you from Ohio, Louisiana, Alabama, Canada, Florida, and Oregon.
Oh, beautiful.
And so
traveling. Huh?
There you go. Let's start out with Brett in Canada. He's in Toronto. We were talking with Congressman Pocan just a few minutes ago about national health care. Brett, you're on the air.
Hi there. So it's fantastic to be talking to you because I've been watching your show every day on RT via YouTube. And you talk a lot about healthcare and mentioning the Canadian system. So I thought, as a regular Canadian person, I would just give you my experiences and perspectives with the healthcare system up here. And also, because of the debacle that's going on down in the States with you guys in healthcare, we've actually been talking a lot up here amongst ourselves about our healthcare system, kind of rechecking it amongst ourselves, with ourselves, if we're satisfied with it. And I can tell you that we are. We don't think about it. We don't think about healthcare. We don't worry about it. It's not something that we concern ourselves with. And I think that adds so much to our lives up here to just alleviate that stress. For example, my mother a few years ago was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she called me and said that she was diagnosed with it. Nobody had to worry about what was going to happen next. We just knew that she would go to the hospital, get chemotherapy, get her treatment. Just that whole issue of money and where is it coming from and insurance is just not part of our life up here. And I think I can speak for at least my friends up here, that we can't even conceive of that concept. And when we do, and if we're empathic about it, we recognize how much of a burden that must be on Americans to have to worry about that.
Yeah, it is substantial. Nina?
Yeah, no, that's deep. And I'm glad that, Canadians who actually are living there and experiencing this are calling in, Thom, to share their stories. And he talked about the burden of healthcare. That just touches me right in my heart because it is a burden. There was a gentleman by the name of Scott. He just recently passed away. He needed a kidney, and he definitely a Bernie-crat. Worked very hard, but he died. And one of the last articles that he wrote, he said, and I'm paraphrasing him, but we need Medicare for all. And even though I might not live to see it, his last article he wrote was about Medicare for all.
This is the Thom Hartmann Program.
So it is a burden.